Did you ever take steroids at any point? Just an honest answer.
Probably not, honestly.
You seem like you were thinking about it though.
Yeah.
So you've been tempted at one point?
I mean, a little, obviously. I mean, I want to get huge like you, but
How old are you?
I'm like 17.
You're 17 and you've been thinking about it?
Well, kind of, because like, obviously, because social media and everything, right? Like, I go on TikTok and all I see is like jack dudes and everything.
Yeah.
The whole concept of what a good physique is has been like, it's so far from what the truth is now. You see like these cracked physiques go viral, whatnot, all these younger guys, 17-year-old crazy physiques, whatnot. But the thing is, that's not the majority of the population. Like people they're seeing more of it now. So they think that that's like the new standard. That's what you have to reach. But it makes this like false reality of like what a good physique is. Like people will even bash my physique. Now I see it all the time in my comments. Like, yo, like his physique is mid. And people were like, yo, Alex, why hasn't your physique changed in the last 3 years? I don't know. Maybe because I'm not injecting myself twice a week with some crazy ass substance that I don't even know. And I've been training for 7-8 years.
What's good, YouTube? Christian here again. I'm a medical lab scientist licensed in the state of Florida, and I wanted to touch on this topic because Alex Eubank took a stand against steroids, and I want to applaud him for that. But I also want to explain certain things that he got wrong on this topic, because I think it's important so that the audience can really know what they're getting into before they start taking these substances. I know a lot of medical professionals don't get on the internet and actually give their opinion. So I'm kind of like starting this channel and starting to add some medical topics as well, because I think it's important that more medical professionals get online and actually say their opinion so that people are better informed on these topics. Let's continue the video so that you can see better what Alex was trying to get at.
T-Bone Trent twins.
Yeah.
Like Samson Rick pops up a lot.
Just watching those guys made you a little bit more tempted than normal?
Yeah, it's like.
Oh, really? Really? And everybody wanted to shit on Alex Eubank about what a year ago I made a video giving my opinions of Sam. And I like, people try to take it for me bashing him, and I literally wasn't. I said, the audience, I know how these guys are. They're going to see him and be like, I want to be like that. Because they don't really go into detail about how bad that stuff is for you, how much it'll age you, how ugly it'll make you look, how much it messes up your skin, how it does things that just destroy your being, right? If you don't do it right, if you're not like a C-bum and you're a multi-millionaire, you can get all the right resources to take it in a healthy way. Unless you were competing professionally and that's like what you're trying to do for a career, I really don't see a point in it. I just don't. Why? Because 99% of the people who are watching it, who are considering it in the first place, are not in a position that these guys are in. Sam, C-Bum, that's what they're all in positions where they can take it in a healthy environment. I'm still doing quotes around that, in a healthy environment, because they have the resources to take it in a healthy way, versus 99% of the following are not going to have it that way.
A lot of the side effects can be mitigated if you take it properly.
Correct, I think.
This is why I wanted to make this video. I think there's a misconception that you could take steroids in a safe way just by getting your blood work done and stuff like that. Me, I'm a medical scientist. It's my job to produce lab results, okay? I do this every day, and I can tell you right now that there is no way to safely take steroids, okay? Taking and abusing PEDs and getting your lab work done is essentially like starting an electrical fire in the basement of your home and then calling a house inspector to see if your house is all right. Obviously, he's gonna come in and tell you, hey, you idiot, you started an electrical fire in your basement, your house is going to catch on fire. It's the same thing with your body, okay? When you abuse PEDs, you're starting a chain reaction that's just eventually just going to go wrong at some point. I don't blame Alex for feeling this way, because the fitness industry as a whole has made it its job to kind of promote that steroids can be safely used. And, back in the day, it was kind of like a badge of honor when you were transparent with your PED use. But now it's almost like they're using the medical field as a scapegoat to continue abusing drugs. What they do is they abuse PEDs, they abuse their body, they mess up their blood markers, and they say, hey, as long as you get your blood work done, you're going to be okay. But then when I look at their blood work, and remember, this is my job, this is what I do for a career, and I see their blood work, it's a complete mess, okay? And they just say, yeah, I'm just monitoring my blood work. But are you going to stop even if the blood work ends up being horrible? Probably not, okay? Because when you look at their blood work, there's red flags all over the place, and they're not stopping, okay? They're just using the medical field as a scapegoat so that the audience can get off their back, and they just can continue abusing PEDs. you know, at his core, Alex is not a scientist. He's not in the medical field. He doesn't know the science. He's basically just a member of the audience, but because of his physique and his ability to, you know, leverage social media, he got, you know, clout and success. And I applaud him for that. But when he speaks on these topics, there's a lot of ignorance coming through, okay? So this is why I wanted to make this video so that I can clarify the reality of this topic.
To ever do steroids safely?
No, it's impossible, unfortunately. Otherwise, I think a lot more people would be doing it.
Now, Greg Deucette, and rightly so, called out Alex for claiming that there's a safe way to use steroids. I know it's kind of a shame that he touched on this topic and then he just got jumped on for that one specific thing. But I think it's very important that we don't tell the youth that there is a safe way to use steroids. And let's see what he has to say. Sometimes he could be a little harsh with Alex. They have like some love-hate relationship going on. You know, but let's see what he has to say.
These things, you take these drugs, for example, Togi, you show your entire cycle. And so he makes a video, says, hey, see my blood work, it's all good. No big problems after all. But yet I looked at his blood work and it is horrendous. So bad, I'm making a video just like Dr. Mike. He needs to stop.
Now, on the topic of Togi, if this video gets 10 plus likes, I'm going to drop another video and I'm going to go over his blood work and I'm going to give my professional opinion because Greg had a lot of harsh words to say about Togi. And, you know, he did some very big claims on that video. I watched that video and I want to give my professional opinion, but I'll only do that if this video gets 10 likes or more. Okay?
He's in his early 20s and it's horror awful.
Right? If you don't do it right, if you're not like a C-mom and you're a multi-millionaire, you can get all the right resources to take it in a healthy way.
Alex, you can't do steroids safely. You can't. Unless it's HRT prescribed by a doctor, anything else, it's not safe. Alex is making look like, hey, if you have a lot of resources, if you're a guy like Chris Bumstead, you can do it safely. Chris Bumstead's getting his blood work done, and so it's safe. It's not safe. It's not even close. Chris Bumstead has to stop real soon. I'm surprised he hasn't already retired.
And in there lies the problem. It's like these people that are big in the fitness industry, it's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm being transparent with my steroid use. Steroids are bad. They do a lot of damage. You know, here are all the positives though. Here are, you know, I'm Mr. Olympia. I'm making all this money. I'm getting all this clout. Oh, but steroids are bad. Just go get your blood work done. It's almost like they just throw the blood work word out there. And I think the reason I wanted to make this video is because like I work in this field, right? So I don't want people using the field that I'm in, my career, to scapegoat drug use, right? So it kind of like pissed me off. So I'm just like, okay, I need to get on camera and kind of speak on these issues because, you know, medical technologists or medical lab scientists, they don't get on camera often to talk about these things because a lot of us are kind of like introverted and, you know, fitness is kind of like a niche topic, right? So it's kind of rare that those two things intersect. But I'm in the right position to intersect those topics because I've been lifting for 15 years naturally. I've never touched steroids ever in my life. You know, even if you monitor steroids and you get your blood work done, all you're going to see is that steroids are depreciating your HDL, okay? AKA what Greg calls the good cholesterol or other people call the good cholesterol. But HDL is more important than just being the good cholesterol, okay? HDL is like insurance for your heart. HDL it's like having oil in your car, right? You put oil in your car to prevent the motor from damaging itself when it's functioning. Same thing with your heart and HDL. If you depreciate HDL, essentially you are increasing the risk of LDL sticking to your arterial wall and causing plaque in your arterial wall, and that could cause strokes, embolisms, and even death. So I just want people to know that and realize that and stop these people from just saying like, oh, I'm just getting my blood work done, because when you look at their blood work, all you're seeing is red flags all over the place and no one is talking about that. It's almost like, oh, he got his blood work done, oh, he's good, he knows what he's doing because he got all these money and resources. It's like, no, these people are risking their lives.
It's you should equally go into like how bad that shit is for you, and like this be like you should never take this. This stuff is awful for you.
And so, unless those famous YouTubers taking steroids go over all the negative consequences as much and as often as they do the positives, you're going to be, without even knowing it, subconsciously encouraging people to use steroids.
Test and primo. A lot of the side effects can be mitigated if you take it properly.
Correct, I think.
Incorrect.
You know, biggest bodybuilders in the world with the most resources are still risking their lives. And we see that with people like, for example, like Rich Piana. Rich Piana had a lot of money. Joe Statics had a lot of clout and he was making a lot of money. I'm sure he was getting his blood work done. But what happened to him? He's not here anymore. And, you know, I just want to be real about it. He's not here because of steroids. You know, he might have a genetic condition, but when you take steroids, make the condition worse. You make it even more dangerous than what it was. I just want to be responsible. I'm in the medical field. I want to get on camera and want to put my voice out there so the kids know, do not take these drugs. You know, they're not as safe as they promote them to be online. Now, if you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. And like I said, I will be touching on these topics a lot more. I'm going to be making a video on Togi and his blood work and what Greg said about him. Make sure you're around for that one. I'm going to go into a lot more specifics that Greg didn't go into using my background in the medical field. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.